What is going on today, man? I'll tell you, it never gets any. I have no words for the Pitt Panthers and their low class football program. I really don't. They put out a tweet today, and look, they're not worried about the ACC. They're worried about the Big 12. Let's talk about that. Also, Pat Narduzzi has made past comments. Imagine that. He's always making some comments, and then we're going to talk West Virginia roster. We're going to talk a little bit of Kansas and stuff like that. Stay tuned. This is Locked On West Virginia.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and this is another edition of Locked On West Virginia, sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Today's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. You go to 5hourenergy.com and use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order today. Goodness gracious, man. I got to tell you, I can't stand that football program. My background is wrong. It's not supposed to say this stuff on here. So I apologize. I have made a new one. I could probably change it in real time. I totally messed up on it. But we're going to go over to X and here in a second and just Pitt football, their official account, I made sure, has released a thing where they're talking about the Big 12 and basically because they beat Cincinnati and West Virginia, they by record, because they played two Big 12 teams, would be 2-0 in the conference. And they posted a graphic with this today. I just can't believe it. They're worried about that on a Tuesday. Well, they should probably be prepared for whoever it is they got next. I don't know who it is. But they're obviously still worried about the Big 12 in West Virginia. And I think that says a lot about the state of their program. We're going to talk about that. Let me change this background really quick because it's going to drive me nuts. My bad, guys. Hopefully this doesn't make any crazy noises. I'm signing in with my phone at the same time as oh, God.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, remove myself from the stage. Let's see. Screw it. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But this is supposed to say Pitt's flirting with the Big 12 and something about roster changes. But it was just going to be a discussion on those two topics. So my bad. Let's check out what they did really quick. Let's share the screen. All right. So I think I reposted it earlier. I bookmarked it. I do know that. Yeah, here it is. So this is from look, you click on it. Pitt Panthers, from the official home of the Pitt Panthers. 60,000 followers. Wow, that's pathetic, dude. Like the West Virginia one has over 300K. Anyway, good morning, Big 12 conference. What? Like this is where you want to go today? 2-24 football standings. They got them 2-0 in the conference. Nobody else has played a game besides TCU and UCF. What are these guys doing? What are they doing? Are they really so wrapped up in what we've got going on in this? I'm sorry that you've got a conference that's failing and flailing, and you're obviously not happy about that. But you're not invited. You're not invited to the Big 12. You got to be in your sinking ship of an ACC conference. I don't care what your record is in the Big 12. You're on a sinking ship. That's just the way it is, So I don't know, man. I'm not too happy about this tweet, though. I bookmarked it because there'll come a day when that's going to come in handy, in my opinion. So They're obsessed. Exactly. Matt Dix, their fans are obsessed. They are coming in every content uploaded talking crap to WV fans. Oh, I can't put that up because it's got cuss words. I got to be careful. I've been told not to put stuff with cuss words up on the screen. It's just something I've been asked not to do. So if you could just, if I don't put your comment up, obviously I don't care. You can express yourself however you want, Matt. It's just something that I've been asked to do. It's just weird for me because I've been able to do my own thing for so long that sometimes I forget that I have people to answer to now, and I don't want to get myself in a spot, So, trying to figure out why this won't remove. Let's see. Okay. And to make it even worse, I think the refs cheated them or they would have blew us out. Yeah, that makes no sense either. Like we had a touchdown taken away, then a punt block, which is a 14-point swing, and we still went up 10. You know, we were 3 scores better than they were. I'll go to my grave believing that. So. Matt is right. They're all over WVU YouTube streams, the 5 Pitt fans, and won't stop talking. But they were nowhere to be found the rest of the year. It's really sad. Yeah, I know. Well, look, they earned it at the end of the day, right? I mean, they did. The Pitt football players who really played their hearts out that day. I have a lot of respect for both teams that played on the field. I don't really hate the players as much as I do their fans. Like. I don't like Holstein either, really. I don't like. I just can't get behind. I don't know what it is about Pitt quarterbacks. I didn't like Kenny Pickett either. Him his long hair. I didn't know. Yeah, I met your sponsors and company, but it's all good. Not exactly sure what you mean by you met them, buddy, but that's cool. I appreciate you. The first half, we stopped them on the one. Yeah, we stopped them all kinds of times. To me, this is just a larger deal with like, you mean to tell me one of Pitt's official accounts is tweeting it or whatever you want to call it on X about the Big 12? I don't know. Like, and they're going to say like it's not that deep, but to me, it's who are you supposed to be getting ready for? I don't get it, man. And I won't. It's just one of those things. I'm not going to get it. So. Hate their players and their coach. They're real arrogant. I can't wait to see them lose. Go Youngstown State. Is that who they play? Okay. I wasn't sure. I don't know past West Virginia who they played this year because I just didn't really have a reason to care. But, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. Of course, they get Youngstown State next. They'll probably go to 4-0. And they're probably really happy about their future schedule. I'm sure it's easy in the ACC. Not that the Big 12 is really much better than the ACC, but our schedule just happens to be really tough. So, well, it's gonna be something else I want to talk about next. Actually, is if anybody has anything else to say about this as well, Pitt tweeting to the Big 12 of all places makes no sense really, but Neal Brown is going to have to accomplish 2 things that he's never accomplished in his history as West Virginia coach for us to climb out of the hole we're in. Do you know what those 2 things are? Let's talk about them. And that's going to be next on Locked On West Virginia. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by Return on You. Hey, West Virginia fans, if you heard about Return on You, it stands for Return on You, or ROY. And it's a new platform that lets you, the fans, get involved in NIL like never before by making contributions directly to your favorite athletes. By supporting players directly, you can help shape rosters, retain talent, and keep your favorite athletes out of the transfer portal. As you all know, NIL has changed the game for athletes. ROI changes the NIL game for fans. Here's why Roy is different. No risk contributions. Fans' contributions are securely held and only distributed if the athlete makes the decision that aligns with fan support. If not, the money was returned to the fan. Download ROI for iOS or Android and enter the referral code locked on. You'll automatically be entered into a sweepstakes to win $5,000 cash. Visit or join ROI.com for additional details. No purchase is necessary. Void where prohibited. Get the Roy app for iOS or Android and start making an impact on your favorite team. But you have to use the referral code locked on for an opportunity to win $5,000 cash. Visit or join ROI.com for more details. No purchase is necessary and void where prohibited. I feel like I had to say that twice. The void where prohibited thing. That was kind of cool. All right. Tuesday night, you're freaking out over Petrol. I'm really not freaking out at all. If I was freaking out, I'd be emotional and a wreck. At the end of the day, you guys are the ones that are obsessed with the Big 12. That's the facts. I'm reporting on it. That's what I'm doing, brother. So thanks for the click, though. And I don't know, we've been able to stop no slow quarterbacks from running on 3rd and 20. Yeah, it's been frustrating, Silas. It definitely has. Definitely been frustrating. Wild, isn't it? Drew Aller and Holstein, couldn't remember his name, have been the ones to line us up on the ground. So Daniels from Kansas has got to be licking his chops. No doubt about it. He's much more mobile than both of those guys. So it's going to be something. Not exactly hyped for that, but we'll see. All 4 of our linebackers already have 10, 4, and a bunch of symbols in 3. Very cool, man. Our front 7's been really good. I know it's been crazy, right? Yeah, we did. Go Ears. But what bothers me about it is we didn't beat either one of those teams at their best. Well, Pitt we did because they just didn't have a quarterback last year. But UNC was without they were without Tez. They were without obviously the starting quarterback. I just wish we would have beat them at their best because people continuously bring that up. So, what's up, Matthew Watkins? Pitt's official account is tweeting at the Big 12, basically wishing they were in the Big 12. They're saying, "Look, we can win in the Big 12. I'm a real boy." Basically, that's what it comes down to. They want to be in the Big 12, and they know they're on a sinking ship, and they're mad because they're not guaranteed to get out of that sinking ship either. Really, truthfully, I'm not even bashing them. Like, if that ship sinks, they'll probably try to do what the Pac did and reformulate the ACC, but it's probably going to look something like the Mountain West / Pac-12, right? So only the better of the better are going to come over if that happens. If it happens. Not even saying it will, but it's fun to drag Pitt. So they're 4-17 versus the Big 12. Yeah, that. Listen, man, they're 2-0 this year versus Cincinnati and West Virginia. Neither of our teams are very good as so far. So. They are wins versus the Big 12, I guess, but just like our wins versus the ACC last year weren't exactly against the best, but it is fun. Hey, WV Fan 13. I will get into score predictions for Kansas. I'm going to do a full episode. I'm actually going to talk to the Locked On Kansas or the Locked On Jayhawks guy today. I have to run it. Well, I got to run in about 30 minutes, but we're going to do a crossover show with all the Big 12 people. So I'll ask him there to do it. We'll probably try to schedule a show tomorrow or the next day, and then I'll give you a prediction and stuff like that. But like just some predictions on the game that I have. Well, let's go ahead and get to this Neal Brown conversation really quick. So Neal's going to have to do at least two things, and let's make sure I can even remember what they are here. Because I had them in my head earlier. He's going to have to do at least two things he's never done as a coach to right the ship against, for West Virginia this year. He's going to have to win 3 games in a row at some point, right? We're going to have to win 3 games in a row to be what they promised us we could be before the year was over. Like the first press conferences we heard was, we want to get to Dallas, okay? So if you still want to get there, you're going to have to at least win 3 in a row. You're probably going to have to win more than that, not likely. And then you're going to have to win on the road versus a top 25 opponent. Neither one of those things has Neal Brown done in his 6 years at West Virginia. I still believe this is the better team, at least the second best team he's had here. I do believe that. I think I do. I'm struggling with it, man. I really thought this was our best team, But Garrett hasn't been Garrett. That's been abundantly clear, and it's frustrating on top of that. And then our secondary's just been so bad that can't hold a lead or get a stop, really, Like, it sucks because that defense played such a great game the other night in the second half. Holstein had 4 yards, or was it, or 13 yards for a 30-minute stretch, if you count after they scored their last time in the second quarter until the fourth. So really frustrating for me, like, and all of us. Garrett became a passing quarterback. Yeah, right. Hey, look, he went under the I form or single back. It was a single back. Yeah, I think it was single back. But he went underneath center. Did you see that drop back? How awkward it was. I mean, he still made the throw, but check the last 20 years, Zach. What happened over the last 20 years, Zach? Hey, Zach, what happened over the last 20 years? What's the record? Before anybody even started paying attention to the rivalry like they do today, what was the record? So, I would like to let me know below, guys. What do you think? Can Neal Brown pull off these 2 feats? Can he win on the road for the first time against the top 25 team in 2 weeks? 3 weeks, because we're going to bye after Kansas. And can he win 3 straight? So. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this after the fact. If you're watching now, let me know what you think. Up next on Locked On West Virginia, we're going to continue some more conversation. It's going to be a good time. Stick around, guys. We'll probably talk a little bit about Kansas, what I feel like the game's going to look like. And is Daniels really a threat to this West Virginia defense, or is he going to be the same old, same old? That's up next. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by FanDuel. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book, after all. Well, we have something a little different for you this time. Now, through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need to do is Google your account with the form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com, which is America's #1 sports book. And for the local ad read of this episode of Locked On West Virginia, we need to thank Magic Shine. That's right. Magic Shine. I'm so excited to still be working with them guys. Sean Uphold is an amazing guy. Uh, Magic Shine really cares about your vehicle. They really do. Whether it's window tinting, they've got Diamond Protec, they've got everything you could possibly want at Magic Shine. And also, they do the best detail in town. Tucker DeVries, Toby O'Connie, Ren Baker, all kinds of people have been there, guys. I highly suggest going to Magic Shine if you're in the Morgantown area. One of the best around, if not the best. So shine on, Morgantown. All right, guys. Appreciate you for being here. Appreciate the clicks. Any Pitt enthusiasts that are in here. I just appreciate all the clicks, Zach. At the end of the day, brother, you're helping the algorithm. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. So talking about Kansas, for me on this game, obviously, so a lot of things I've heard people say about this game is Jalen Daniels is in a new offense, which is partly true, partly not true. He's got a new coordinator, yes, but they run the same offense, from what I understand. Jordan Leslie said that the offense they run comes partly from the head coach, partly from the quarterback's coach, and partly from the coordinator just calls the plays. So basically, what's happened is did they get Grimes, the old Baylor guy? I had to look and see really quick. All right. Yeah, Jeff Grimes. I just wanted to make sure. So Jeff Grimes is calling the old playbook. That's what I understand here. So it's the same playbook, but he got hurt against Texas, right? And I just don't know if it's rust because the game can't be moving too fast. Now, I think they still have Fairchild, the tight end. I know they lost the other tight end. They've still got Grimm. I know that. I really don't know. I haven't started digging into them. I was going to research them today, but I got caught up doing some stuff. So I'll have Kansas research, and then obviously I'm going to bring on a Kansas guy that knows way more about them than I do to talk about them probably tomorrow or the next day, and we'll do a preview episode. But to be honest, whenever West Virginia loses, it takes the fight out of me for the entire day on watching college football. And that has been what's happened for me this year. So other Big 12 teams, unless we're playing them, I haven't really had a chance to study up on them a lot because it's been a really miserable start to the season. Even after Albany, I was mad. So, that's not really been fun because the Burkett kid put 300 on us. So I was mad even that game. Say this about Neal Brown era. The only year that's been exciting was the 2023 season. Every other year has been mediocre. Too bad, boring football, especially offensively. Yeah, it's not been fun, no doubt. But I don't know. I felt like the JT Daniels, the offseason with JT Daniels, Mountaineer Nation, let's ride, because the Russell Wilson stuff. That was all kind of fun. That was fun, I found it to be, the offseason. It became really obvious that JT could play if we could have protected him. We just couldn't protect him, and he was so immobile. And the offense was built around the throwing quarterback, and Garrett was a running quarterback. And there was just, that's why you see the NFL a lot of times the backup quarterback will be very similar to the starter because that way if he goes out, you don't have to change the offense too much. It's not like that in every case, but like if you look around the league, a lot of times these days the quarterbacks will be pretty close to the similar skill set. So, Fan 13 says, I think West Virginia can win both against Kansas and on the road against top 25 teams. but it all depends on what coach changes are. Well, I can tell you what they are pretty much. Um, so TJ Crandall and Jacoby Spells should be back from injury this week, and they'll probably be in the secondary a lot, I'm guessing, from what I hear. Fagan played okay at times against Pitt because he should have had a pick six. It was right there, you know. Holstein made a couple mistakes in the game, throw the ball. They were there to be had. We just didn't capitalize on them. Like, I don't even think we have a turnover through 3 games. This is another thing. This has happened before with Jordan Leslie team, you know. I don't understand it, man. It's like I don't know what it is, you know. Like I try to figure it out, you know, because if you look at Trey Lathan, Josiah Trotter, TJ Jackson, like we've got some guys that will attack, or they're definitely pit bulls. But in the secondary, they don't attack the ball at all. They just haven't, you know. So somebody mentioned to me that I say you know a lot, and it's driving me nuts. I can't not every time I say it, it drives me crazy. It really does. So I'm not a professional journalist, but I'm going to tell you, man, this is really driving me crazy because I don't want to say, you know, like all the time, especially when I'm, you know, passionate about something. It's really hard for me not to just, because it's, you know, it's a discourse marker. Like I'm connecting thoughts together. And it's so hard not to use that word. I didn't even know I did it. You know, that's such an unconscious thing. Anyway, I've got a locked on show to get to here in a few minutes. But Pitt sucks. If you weren't in here earlier, let's just look at it one more time because it's so freaking funny. You know, like these guys, man, they pretend like it's not a big deal, but it really is. Like they're doing this because they can put it off like they're talking, and like even if they're talking smack, like don't you have a game to get ready for? No, okay. So obviously Youngstown State must feel really slighted. This is the Pitt Panthers account, as you can see, with measly 60,000 people. The official home of the Pitt Panthers, X, IG, and TikTok. I mean, how sad. How sad. If you go to West Virginia's in a second, it's over 300K. Anyway, they've got this graphic up with the Pitt. Looks like AI generated. But Pitt Panthers 2-0. UCF 1-0. TCU 0-1. Nobody else has even played a game. Like what kind of flex do you really think this is? You know? There I went with again. God dang it. It's going to be a hard habit to break. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's funny, man. Like you think you're going to get the Big 12, but you're not. You know, I think it's going to be, if it comes to the point and the 2 big guys fly out of town with Clemson and Florida State, even though Florida State's a mess. Even though I think that Pitt would be great for West Virginia in the Big 12, I know for a fact that Pitt is not within the top 4 teams in the ACC that the Big 12 would want. The Big 12, for whatever you want to say, you could be 2-0 against the Big 12, but the Big 12 was way more stable than you are. And your conference will crash and will burn at some point, and I'll be here for it. I will be here for it. I've got this tweet bookmarked. So when the day comes that it crashes and burns, I'll probably pray for Pitt's downfall at this point. Like, that's how mad I am over this, really. You know? Like, I'm smiling through the anger. All right. Russell Snyder, I watched Kansas and UNLV. We should definitely beat them. If we don't, we are in trouble. Yeah, if we don't. Well, and that's the thing. If there's going to be a change, if there's going to be some kind of somebody moved to a different spot, I would say, I don't know. You know, I think there's got to be somebody go, because there's a bye week after Kansas. Then we got Oklahoma State. I don't know. It's going to be tough. But I would say probably Leslie. He might go at that point. It just depends on what it looks like, though. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about, brother. I don't know what that comment pertains to. Most Pitt games don't even bring in anything close to 4,000. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Keep chopping? Can you explain that a little bit more? I'm probably reading that out of context. Oh yeah, there's several pictures too of the game. So, I almost did an episode on this, but Wes Euler on Inside the Gun said that, and he's a Pittsburgh Steelers journalist. He works in the Steelers facility. He said that somebody from Pitt, rich person from that, from Pitt, bought like 20 or 30,000 tickets. So that's why the upper deck was empty, even though they reported a sold out stadium. And it's very obvious. Like if you looked at all the pictures, they will deny it to the death, but it's true. They did. Somebody did. I mean, just how they are, crooked. That's the Narduzzi regime over there. But that's a bona fide journalist that works in that building there at Pittsburgh, saying, "Look, somebody said somebody bought tickets." So nobody cares what you say, Corbin. Timeout. Darth Ducky says quack. Hey, Darth Ducky. Appreciate you for being in here, man. Appreciate that, brother. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys this for those of you that hadn't seen it yet. Pitt was in the Big 12. They're going to get in the Big 12. They're worried about being 2-0 in the Big 12. Uh-oh. Well, that's my cue, I guess. Sorry, guys. I accidentally unplugged my camera. So next time on Locked on West Virginia, we'll try not to have that happen. But thank you guys for showing up. We'll talk next time. Until then, have a great evening, and I'm out.